Morning, everybody. So, I got a challenge here. So, we're back on this one, and it's amazing. As I've almost finished one, people are like, okay, let me rephrase that. The yellow submarine is ready to go. 4-cylinder, 5-speed. Check it out on Marketplace. It's around 6,000, somewhere around there. It's done. Just get in and drive it. I want a stick. All right, well, okay. You got a stick. 4-cylinder, 5-speed. I drive that thing all over the place. Great. Got leaf spring suspension. Floors have been done. The brakes are done. The clutch is done. It needs a windshield. Big deal. I ain't putting a windshield in because the first time I do, boom, crack. You know how that is. Anybody that owns a Jeep, you know how that is. I don't care what windshield you put in it. So, even that Gorilla Glass, don't work. It's glass and it's flat. It's got to be perfect on a Jeep. That's why Jeeps are kind of a specialty. Black Jeep is almost done. I ordered a radiator hose, upper radiator hose yesterday. I got 2 clamps. Once that comes in, we'll pop it in and be done. That one, I'll still drive it with the zip ties on. I don't care. I'll put some water in the back. But I could wait. I'll drive the yellow one around today if I got to do a couple things, which I do. I got to go to the bank. Hey, can I have some money? You know how that is. So if you need to give me some money, you know what you do? Buy some parts or tools on Motor Speed in 1984. You know, go Google my name, Lenny Massey, and all the links are there, all the videos are there. You can just, you know, they're always like, oh, can you take pictures of the bottom? I can take. Okay, so I do that. And oh, do you have a stick? Yeah, 4-cylinder. I want a YJ. I want a TJ. Well, that's why TJ's back in. I still haven't figured out what to name it yet. So anybody have any hints? Just throw it at me. I don't mind. It's white. It's actually one of the best ones. Actually, worst right now, but the best when it's done. I think. I'd rather drive a stick. It won't let you down. The automatic, you always like, is it gonna shift gears? What's going on inside? You know, you don't know what's going inside unless you rebuild it, put it together, and you're done. So a stick, if you put a clutch in it, you know you're good. Even if you don't put a clutch in it, you know it's gonna need a clutch one day, or you'll feel it. You'll feel when they start going to bed. So this is straight 6 5-speed. It's on Marketplace. 5,500 the way it is right now. As I fix things, I will increase the price or make me a bid and we'll go from there. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take the shock out to start. I had this whole apart. I was driving it around with no coil spring. Look, there's no coil spring in here. You can drive it out to your driveway and when you get a chance and when you get the car, but I can't find this bracket. I'd rather just cut it off and put a whole new bracket. I can't find it. Plan 2. Welding we will go. So I'm going to take out the shock first, and I have to get this jack underneath to support the differential, and then I can take the jack out. So let's start with that right now, and then we're going to make some plates. Let's go up. Now there's 2 ways to do this. You can use the jack to just get it close. And then use the lift and lower the lift. But I'm not really a fan of that. I mean, I'll do it if I have to, but I'd rather not. I really don't want to use the lift. don't know about. Hold on. We gotta figure it out. Put it here. Now go up a little higher. That's better. Put it right under the spindle. Jack it up a little bit. Get the weight off. Differential. As you can see, the shock is already loose. We'll take the bolt out. Right now, the shock is loose right now, and you should be able to take the bolt out no problem. I'm trying to do it by hand, but I guess I ran a bolt in there a little bit. Let me get that out. Saying 9/16, so I guess it's not measured. So there's a bolt on the bottom of it. Once you take this out, you gotta be careful with this stuff because it's under pressure. It should come out. There we go. Okay. So there's the bottom bolt is out. All the washers I had this once apart before, so it's much easier. Second time. Now lower this, and it should hang. We're gonna have pressure off the shock. We're gonna try to get the shock out of there so we can weld a little better in there. So that's basically suspended. Okay. The shock still has pressure too. So that's the first step of that. Now we can lower it, and then we take the shock bolt off the top. Got the bolt on the shock. There's a stud off the top of the shock. You're gonna have to get that off. You're gonna have to clean it a little bit. Wire wheel it. And then you might have to put blast on it. You might have to heat the nut up. We don't know. Where's my little brushes? One second, let me get a brush. I never find everything I want. So clean off the threads. And let's try just taking her off dry. Let's see what works. Probably a 9/16. So it's loose, so let's put some WD on it. I have a little left in this can. And then spin it off. I have wrenches that are, I call them speed wrenches. Really not called, they're not really speed wrenches, and of course it's the one that's broken. Well, it would have been a lot faster and easier with a speed wrench. I have metric. Where's my metric? Let me find my metric. Hold on. Ah, there. Hopefully this is 14. No, it's 12. Yeah. You know how that works. Of course, that's the one I need, and I can't find it right now. Alright, well, you can't really get a socket in there, so just take it off slow way. Put some other stuff in there. This is kind of my favorite stuff, and basically I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm not gonna let you watch this whole video. So I'm spraying it down, and then we'll get it out in a little while. You're gonna have to work it back and forth. So you kind of have the gist of what I'm trying to do. Obviously, the shock was yellow. This is usually a Monroe shock, aftermarket. We might clean it off. We might just spray it black again. Who knows? With some brake clean, we'll take this all off. No problem. This is some cheap paint. But the shock, see, the shock is still good because the shock, if you push it up, it's gonna go back down. It's gonna go back down. If it's going down, it's got pressure in it. That means it's gonna force the suspension down. Every time you hit a bounce, it'll control the wheel hop. You know, you're bouncing. So we're gonna let that soak in a little bit, and I'll take that off. That's the first step. We'll be able to access more of this, and then we're gonna weld in some plates, and we're gonna start putting it all back together. Keep on watching, everybody. Have a good Tuesday. Bye.